Okay, in today's class we are going to discuss that what are bubble sorts. Bubble sort is an example of a sorting algorithm, and what it do is that it takes an unordered collection of items, unordered collection of lists, and make it into an ordered one. Like for example, right here you can see that I have items ranging from 1 till 5. In my first list, these are all the items that are unordered. For example, I have 77, 42, 35, 12, 101 and 5. And in the final list, just after the bubble sorts example, you can see that I have the whole of the list as an ordered one, right? I have 5, 12, 35, 42, 72, 101. So what do that bubble sort do is that it compares each and every element according with the next corresponding element, and if the value is true, it swaps. Like for example, if I have two values, for example the first value is 5 and the second value is 2, so obviously 2 is a lower value, so it is going on to come onto the first place. So let's check out the demonstration for this. Like for example, right here you can see that this is a list ranging from element 1 till 6, and I have 42, 77, 35, 12, 101 and 5. That 5 has to be in that element 1. So starting from the first element, 42, 77 and 35, are they at correct position? 42 is at its correct position. However, 35 and 77 has to be swapped. So that's the first swapped. If I go on, I can see that 12 and 77 is being swapped. In the third place, I have 77 and 101. So that means that no swaps are required. They are on its correct place. And the last item was 101 and 5. So what I'm doing here exactly is that I'm actually selecting out two of the elements, and I'm checking that if the swap is true, so only I swap it. So yes, 5 comes first and then 101. So you can see actually that this is that however my first swap is completed, you can see that 101 is at the last, however the fifth should be on the first value. So again, to make it into the ordered one, I have to go it onto the second swap, third swap, fourth swap, and so on. So within this example, I also have the example of the boolean flags. So boolean flags are used is as either true or false. So for example, if the swap is successful, that means that you need to make it swap is true, and if it's not successful, then you can make it to false. So right here, let's check out an animated example for this. So for example, right here you can see that the total number of n items I have here is 8. The number that has to be checked are from 7, and here I'm going to have my index value, and did swap is initially true, but however if I'm starting the program, since whole of the value is not swapped, so this has to be false. So right now in this animated example, you can see that the items are totals 8. I'm checking from the 7th item, and the index I have here is at 1. So first of all, it is going to check that if 98 and 23 is going to be swapped or not, and yes, they have to be swapped. So it becomes 23 and 98, and the did swap becomes true because they have to be swapped. The second item is at 98 and 45. So should they be swapped? Yes, they should be swapped, and that's also done. Now third item, 98 and 14, yes, they should be swapped as well, and the swap is true. The fifth element, 98 and 6, should they be swapped? Yes, they should be, and so on with the other values as well. So that's my first bubble up sequence complete. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this the second time. So let's check this. The third time, still some of the elements are not swapped, and this 6 has to be on the first position. You can see that some of the elements are being swapped and some are not, depending upon their positions. 6 is on its correct position. Now the fifth swap, and this has to be keeps on going on until the whole of the value is sorted. So that's a basic concept of bubble sorts, and if you have questions, feel free to reach out at Sir Vamik,